I love Coach Cohen and the whole staff and everyone that's in, all the guys that were brought in free agency, just good dudes, good players too. But I really feel like we've done some great things this offseason.
Adding people who are intangibly rich. And Travis, in fact, as a player, is rare. But as a person, he's also rare.
Gets away from one, superhuman pick from Travis Hunter. Put the cape on him already.
I think he has a great career ahead of him on both sides of the ball. If he's the best DB, is he the best wide receiver? Who knows? But is he a great playmaker on both sides of the ball? Yeah. Yes, he is. And at the end of the day, when you're a team like, us right now, who's in that stage of we have to get it right now. We need the best playmakers on the field at all times. And if he can give you that value, let's do it.
We need to go win football games. And right now, am I optimistic? Absolutely. But I'm also realistic. Like, hey, let's not break our arms, patting ourselves in the back, how great things are going right now. Because ultimately, it's about winning football games, and that's what we're focused on.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
Oh, that's right, gangs, all back together. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. This is Jaguars Today on the field this morning in full pads for the first time in training camp. Your Jacksonville Jaguars. Good morning, Tony Smith. How are you?
Doing well.
How was your weekend?
It was good.
Anything interesting?
We had a bunch of friends over Saturday night for the finale of Shark Week.
Oh.
It's become like a yearly thing that we do with a group of friends, and, we all ate fish and celebrated the way that we celebrate, but the kids ran around the house.
You didn't eat humans, though. There's no cannibalism involved?
No, we ate like sharks.
Ate like sharks. Well, sharks eat humans sometimes.
We cook it first.
I had to ask.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, all the kids ran around the house for a few hours. It was fun.
Could have been a big sushi night at the Smith residence.
There was some sushi.
All right.
Yeah.
All fair. Dylan Denmark, I barely remember you. How are you?
Excellent. First day of high school football is today. So
is that right?
Back in the saddle, baby.
Holy smokes, man.
So put them in the toaster oven. Yeah.
Wow. It's I call it the broiler, but the toaster oven works as well. Dylan, you went down to Tampa for the weekend, right?
Yeah, left Friday, came back Saturday. It was like a 24-hour trip.
All right. You little golf?
A little bit of golf. Not good golf.
No?
It was golf. It was all right.
Had a
good
great
time.
weekend, man. Played Grand Cypress. It was fantastic. Played well for my skill level, Saw Fantastic Four on Saturday night. I loved it. I don't know if that'll be the universal reaction to it, but I don't care because I loved it. So there you go. And the Jags are in full pads today. And I'll give credit where credit's due. I tell you, there's been a lot of, I think, deserved Tank Bigsby hype, right? Because he's looked fantastic in training camp up to this point. Now, for a lot of guys, like, I asked Tony Baselli, what do you think of Wyatt Milne? Well, we'll find out starting today, right? For instance, because offensive linemen, you can tell if they're making the right mental reads and things like that and their assignments, but the physical aspect of it gets turned up several notches.
For sure.
With the pads going on. But I thought Etienne looked super quick today, had some burst. I thought he caught the ball well. They're running a lot of running back pass catching drills when I was there. I didn't get to stick around for the full team session, but I just thought he looked good. I think Bigsby had the first carry of practice again, by the way, and I'm not saying he looked bad. The first run looked like it would have been ripped for about 25 yards right up the gut. Mm-hmm. They've been coming out that first, tone setter and having success popping it in there. Now, granted, it means more today in pads than it does at other times, but saw Ventrell Miller and Devin Lloyd, some pass breakups in that drill, what have you. I guess Travis Hunter, I was not out there yesterday, but Travis Hunter had his hands on the football several times. And you just see the clips, Tone, that speed to break on the ball, the instincts, and he talked about how I got to spend time learning offense, defense. I'm paraphrasing, kind of comes second nature to him, and apparently that showed up yesterday.
No doubt. Look, he's a super athletic guy. Right, and there were some cuts that people put online yesterday, and you watch him break, and it's like, whoa, right? Like, when he goes, he goes.
Right, when he plants that foot and it's time to go, there's no hesitation.
And he's a guy that's going to be allowed to plant and go on both sides of the ball, right? Like, it's still crazy that we're the city that gets to watch this happen. That it's Jacksonville that gets to watch the Travis Hunter experience, and everyone outside of Jacksonville can feel however they want to about it, whether or not they can, will they, won't they, like all those kind of things. They're going to do it, right? As we've talked about through the entire process, it's just a matter of how good is it going to be on both sides for him. It was kind of cool. Was it the practice on Sunday where he had I saw the report of the one-on-one rep against BTJ?
Yes.
That they finally had out there between the two guys. It's like, I think that would be fun, to see a little bit more of that, but that's going to be situational to some degree. It's got to be a day where he's on defense, really working on that side of the ball, and let's get him a rep.
On offense today, by the way.
Yeah.
At least to start. I don't know at what point
he's wearing the blue
be,
jersey.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Jersey,
I don't know what they're going to have him do. Like change jerseys, or will they just throw a penny on?
Yeah.
Whatever's easier. But
I don't know at what point in camp they're planning on doing both.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that, is it going to be a whole procedure? Like, once you switch to defense, that's it. Like, look, I feel like you should be going back and forth in these drills.
Or is it just like a quarterback penny? Do they have like a purple one or something they put on?
Right? Just throw it on him, and he's he's on that team.
He's not playing defense wearing an offense jersey.
Right,
they'll have to
or
distinguish
if you're the quarterback and you see him in a red, you got to know that means today he's not on your side, whatever the case may be. Trevor Lawrence hit Joshua Cephas with a deep ball today. Would have been maybe a real long touchdown. And I said to somebody, they kind of need some of that, right? Because the DBs, as often is the case, defense gets ahead of offense early in camp.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see that, don't you want to hear that Trevor Lawrence just had his third consecutive day where the ball didn't hit the ground in practice, that kind of thing. We need to start having some of these sessions. It doesn't have to be every day. We want the defense to play well, but you got so much invested in this guy. You got an offensive-minded head coach. You brought in this weapon in Travis Hunter. It's going to help him as well, and particularly when Travis Hunter is out there practicing with him. He's not out there covering anybody. I want to see Trevor have those kind of days, and those moments turn into full practices, turn into weeks of practice. So we'll see what Liam Cohen has to say. He's going to speak after practice today. Got a handful of guys nicked up, not out there. We'll get more details. Bajal Tootin not practicing today. Doesn't seem like there's any concern. The words abundance of caution are used a lot at this point in camp.
That time of year, yeah.
So, anyway, today we're asking you, with the pads going on for the first time for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who do you expect to step up their game? In other words, who will shine more physically given the opportunity? And obviously, lines of scrimmage, big factor here. Linebacking core, even the running backs, breaking tackles, things like that. They're not tackling to the ground, but they're thudding them up pretty good out there. And, so who do you think is going to be that player? I'll tell you, just from observing today, I thought, again, ETN had a great start to practice. So it'll be interesting to hear what Liam Cohen has to say about his guys delivering what they expect. But, I'm hearing they're very happy with Anton Harrison, that he is, again, without being able to really impose your physicality on somebody, it's more about the attitude and the readiness and let's get it, and let's take advantage of this opportunity. And whether or not they were consciously or subconsciously sending messages to Anton Harrison this offseason, Tony, it seems like
a message got sent.
Right. Either he received the message or it just, the light went on for him that this is a very important camp for me. And they did bring it. Look, new regime. They didn't select me. They brought in a bunch of guys who are capable of playing my position. Oh, by the way. And, I'm not this protected asset here. Granted, the organization has an investment in him, and he's got talent. And I just think they want to see him get the most out of his talent. And apparently so far so good. These next 2 days are going to tell us more about everybody on the offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line, really the evaluation starts for the most part when the pads go on, for those guys. So it'll be interesting to hear, how these couple days of practice as they do get into pads go for the offensive line. That's been such a huge story, obviously, through the entire offseason. They made it a focus of what they wanted to get done in free agency. We'll see what all these guys look like out on the field as the offensive line finally gets the pads on. They can actually push some people around. They're allowed to put their hands on people for real here now that the pads are on a little bit for these guys. So we'll see exactly what's going to be the story up front, because it is the biggest thing that everyone is focused on, it feels like, with the football team going into this was how improved are they actually on the offensive line?
Sure.
And we can't begin to answer that question until they're allowed to actually push somebody around. Well, they're allowed to a little bit now.
I will say that I don't think this is speaking out of school. It wasn't talking down to anybody. Baselli was very impressed with Chuma Adoga's mental capacity. Having never played guard before, okay, has stepped in for Macari, who's dealing with not like, again, the phrase abundance of caution being thrown around. There's not a long-term issue with Patrick Macari. Probably back spasm, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's this early in camp. Why push it if you don't have to? And you do have some of this depth that you want to see how it works out. But that when Adoga has gone in there to play right guard, that mentally he's been as good as anybody. Like, he's known. And for a guy who's never played the position, I think Tony was impressed with what he brought mentally to the table.
Yeah.
Hey, now back it up physically over the next couple of days. So let us know today who you think that player or handful of players, as the case may be, are likely to shine now that the pads are on. The spotlight is that much brighter. Tony and myself will be out there broadcasting tomorrow. Jeff Loggeman's going to join us today, Tone, of course, from the Jaguar broadcast team, about an hour from now, to give us his day 5, I guess it is, camp observations. And you're welcome to share yours with us as well if you've been out there, or you just have questions or want to talk Jaguar football on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. Same number on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. YouTube Virtual Studio is always open for business. If you dare gaze upon my face while I'm speaking, you're welcome to there, and leave us some comments in the chat, questions, what have you. And you can also stream the program on Twitter, on Facebook, or hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark. It has begun. Indeed, it has begun. The pads are on, baby. Hacker and I pulled the same vintage 2014 1010XL golf shirt out of the closet today. So Hacker and I were twinsies, and it is crazy, right? We got all these shirts from all these years that somebody always ends up wearing the same one. But so Hacker and I looked like we were in a band or something today. I don't know what the case may be. So we'll hear from a bunch of players and coaches that spoke over the weekend. Liam Cohen's going to speak after practice, so we'll turn some of that around as quickly as we possibly can. Jeff Loggeman in hour number 2, and we're off and rolling. Full pads, training camp week 2. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Helmets and Heels calls on Jags former middle linebacker Tom McManus to elevate your afternoon.
He's the best. Guys gotta know.
Join the new Helmets and Heels afternoons from 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
We're professionals. We have a job to do, a season to plan.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Daily Stash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daily Stash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
Every NFL season starts with the fundamentals.
Gentlemen, this is a football.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL.
And each year, there's a new challenge.
Powered by Roland Reish Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reish Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
A new era of women's professional soccer has arrived. The Gainbridge Super League, redefining the game for the next generation. Sporting Jacks, the first ever pro women's team on the First Coast. Be there for history. Secure your tickets now at sportingjacks.com.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Okay. Where's this coming from, Denmark?
This was on a Hard Knocks, New York Giants, like a year or two ago.
You don't know this song.
When they did Hard Knocks. like to start camp.
Yeah.
I always think about this song when they start
All right.
training camp. So.
All right, but prior to seeing it on Hard Knocks, had you ever heard this song?
No.
Of course not. I just say, I didn't immediately recognize it, but it's not like my favorite song of all.
No, I hear you. It also tells you that Dylan's never seen Big Lebowski.
You know,
this song is definitely featured in that.
Have you ever seen Big Lebowski?
No, sir.
Most overrated movie maybe in my lifetime. Honest to God.
I love the Big Lebowski. Dempsey feels about it the way he does.
When I tell you the second most overrated movie, where I'm going to get a bunch of hate tweets, but it's Caddyshack, okay?
Okay.
Just here to tell you.
I wasn't sure if you were going there or Princess Bride. I know that was high.
That's just the funny one to me from back in the day. By the way, Scotty Scheffler, we're all aware, won the British Open.
Ran away
17 under, right? Runner-up, God bless the American flag, Harris English.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy was out of practice today.
Nice.
Rocking the Jaguar cap. So we've got a lot of golfers popping by.
Mm-hmm.
The gravitational pull of Travis Hunter is sucking in the golfers for some reason.
He's got that star pull, doesn't he?
Tony. It's some guy with the golf podcast out there. Very popular, apparently, who's out there on Friday, and
nice.
Liam Cohen came over chatting up Harris English. I probably would too if I'm Liam Cohen, but I heard him mention golf. This is right as, they were coming out to stretch. It's not like he was distracted, but I'd like Liam Cohen to come over and chat to me before practice and give me some nuggets that we could have on the air. He'll speak after practice coming up shortly. I think they're going to 10:30-ish today, something like that.
I think so, yeah.
So anyway, we'll have that for you. Let's get out to the phone lines, I guess, for the first time this morning, as you have had a captive weekend of Jaguar fandom and you're ready to let loose, perhaps, on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. So never a bad idea to go to Gainesville and talk to Byron, because Byron's going to put me in a good mood right off the bat, I believe. Byron, good morning. You are on Jaguars Today.
If I don't love anybody, it's Tony, Mike, and Pocket. But let me say this real quick before I get into this call. One of my favorite actors is Denzel Washington. And I changed the name of the movie, but it is Remember to Always Beat the Titans.
Remember to Always Beat the Titans. Yes.
Yeah, that's the name of the movie I love. So let me go, guys. Good morning, and here's my
Duval. All right, Byron. I hear you. That's it? Just a little Duval?
Good morning.
A little hype. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning to you as well.
Good morning. Denzel Washington's awesome. And
Denzel Washington's one of everyone's favorite actors, by the way. All right, so this just becoming official right now. Liam Cohen said Monteric Brown's out for the rest of camp with a lower leg injury. And so I'd heard that prior to practice, but certain things you don't want to get into the specifics of. If a guy's like going to miss a day or two and they think the old, again, abundance of caution, that was not used with him. And the thing that I understand is that they think mentally a really good fit with the style of defense they want to play. So, you hope a speedy recovery. They've got some options in that secondary, including number 12. Right there, Jarian Jones, I think, is having a solid camp. Everyone is raving about what they've seen from Tyson Campbell to this point in time. Tony, I saw DeAndre Prince getting a little run. I don't know if it was with the ones or the twos, but haven't seen too much of him out there. Again, doesn't mean they're not getting reps. Your eyes can only go to one spot, but saw him out there. I mean, look, he's a guy you just look at the measurables on DeAndre Prince. You're like, that guy should play in the league for a long time. And, so hopefully at the very worst, he provides a guy that, when they go to nickel and dime packages, he gives them another option.
Yeah, I can remember Logs, who we're having on in the second hour, really liked Prince last year, right? Like when we were going through preseason, he didn't play all that much during his rookie year, but really liked him during the evaluation process last year. So, Brown was a guy that we were talking about very much being in the competition to be whoever the second corner was going to be, right? When Hunter wasn't on the field. It's the Hunter thing makes everything a little bit wide open in that regard, that it could be basically anybody, but it wasn't like it was very clear in everyone's mind, even before the Brown injury, that it was Jones, right? That it was Jarian Jones was the other guy. And certainly this would seem to clear the path for Jarian Jones to be that guy, right? Like there's not a whole lot more people that he'd have to hurdle. I guess Prince would still be in the discussion, and it's about how much they want to use Travis Hunter. Basically, at that point on the defensive side of the ball is going to have a direct impact on what that exactly is going to be. It does feel like the conversations about the potential of playing Jordan Lewis outside in those that I haven't heard a whole lot of that. To this point, doesn't mean that it won't happen.
Outside, when they
go to two,
3 corner, with 2, I could still see that being a factor.
Yeah,
I do think they like Jordan Lewis's moxie, right? Like he brings, I've been told by somebody with the organization, they think he might be the most competitive guy on this roster. Like hates, in your face, hates to lose everything. You know how he is on social media, right? Yeah. He's out there yapping.
Yep.
By the way, Evan Ingram stuff got to get to today.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you could have probably done a show about it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't think Evan Ingram was just lying in wait to take a shot.
I don't either.
I just think he got asked about it. And look, the natural thing is you come to a new place, and he was very over the top in his praise of Doug Peterson in 2022, and he came in and everything got off to a great start, and what a great, ecosystem and environment until it isn't, right? Look, are we kidding ourselves? Do we think they had a great culture here?
No.
Where guys were out working everybody around the league, and so he got asked about it, and I don't think he was just sitting back. He's had months if he wanted to take a shot. Now, think about it. If you have performed to a certain level and you get moved out, even if you land in a pretty good situation, right? If through no fault of your own, you get moved out, you're going to feel a certain kind of way about your old employer.
Yep.
I think most people would. Evan Ingram's probably like, man, I'm a really good player. This sorry team is letting me go. I'm sure there's some of that going on inside his head. And look, I also understand fans are like, hey, you're no longer with us, so you're half against us to begin with. And if you're going to make a comment like this, we'll quickly forget about all the good stuff that you did for us.
I throw that into the big bucket of stuff that we've heard since the season ended about what was happening here, right? And we just mentioned Jarian Jones a couple of times. Him last year going to those coaches and saying, can I play outside? I want to play outside. I'm playing really well. Can I play outside? Yes. Let me play a little bit more. I want to be on the field more. No. You just stay where we got you right now. We're not worried about these different kind of, there was so much of that kind of thing going on that when Evan Ingram says what he says, it's just kind of like, well, yeah.
Right now,
it's just kind of I kind of shrug my shoulders to that part of it. I can understand there being a reaction from people saying, why has he got to say that about us now? Right. And to me, that was more he got asked the question, he answered it.
Right.
Well,
what's he going to say as he's the first one out of practice last year? Oh, yeah, I wish more guys were here. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just it's kind of like I get it.
It was notable
from a fandom standpoint.
Right, we all knew it. He was out there working on the things he had to work on before practice because he was focusing on those. It's why it didn't last in New York, who made him a first-round pick.
Right.
It's why it was even available.
I think what he's saying, I wish more guys had that. I want to be out there, even if it's superficial, I want to be out there for those extra 10 minutes, working on this, working on that. It's just a mindset. It's a tone setter. And you look at guys like McManus and Leon Searcy, some of the comments they made, they basically put all this on the locker room. They don't put this on the coaching staff. Yep. It's not on, they feel, and they're the ones who've been in those locker rooms, and we can all feel a certain way about what Doug Peterson needed to get out of his Chargers. And there is some element to culture building. There's no question about it, that you can take on the personality and attitude of your head coach, but you also have to be self-motivated, and that's what those guys preach all the time. And they were in their own, quote, ecosystem in the 90s where they had guys like that everywhere you looked. I think that's why you saw this roster turn over as much as it did. Jags didn't bring back their own free agents. They let loose of guys that were still under contract. I'm not saying Evan Ingram was an issue.
No.
That was more of a fit with what they saw for the offense. I'm not saying Christian Kirk was an issue. I just don't know if they, with the cumulative injuries piling up and what they were paying him, did they feel like they were going to get that kind of impact when they had some guys that they brought in that they feel are going to fit their system? But, hey, look, in the end, they're either going to be right or they're going to be wrong. And they're either going to win games or they're not going to win games. So all that, I can see why they did this, but if it doesn't work, it's a bottom-line league. It's a win-loss, pass-fail type situation on a week-by-week basis. You get 17 tests in the regular season. If you pass 10 of them, then you're probably in pretty good shape.
Yeah, none of them are surprise pop quizzes. You know the dates.
What's the percentage 17? If you got 10 out of 17 right on a test? That's got to be like 65% or something like that. I would have aced the hell out of school if I could have gone 10 out of 17.
Something like that.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's somewhere in that ballpark.
Higher,
all right, let's do that. Let's take a timeout. If you're on the line, we'll get to you coming up. Please be patient at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. We want to hear a little bit from the weekend from
58.
Liam Cohen. 58. Even worse. 58%. Can we win 58% of our games?
Yeah, almost 59, but 58.
It'd be fantastic if we could win 58% of our games. Take that all day. Josh Hines Allen speaking this weekend. Grant Udinsky and others. We'll bring you some of the sounds before we get to the fresh stuff from Liam Cohen speaking this morning again. Maybe the news of the day, not to overplay it. Monteric Buster Brown out at least for the rest of camp. So we'll see if that lingers into preseason games and beyond as well with him. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark here with you, cracking open a fresh week of Jaguar football on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
No, I like baseball. I just never understood how you guys can spend so much time discussing it. I mean, I've been to games, but I don't memorize who played third base for Pittsburgh in 1960.
Don Ho. Feature.
1010XL.
See, that's exactly what I mean.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac. Are you ready to drive away today in luxury? Then you should check out Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Discover our luxurious lineup with over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, including the stunning Cadillac IQ, Lyric, Optique, and Vistique.
And here's something important. The $7,500 tax credit on EV vehicles will be gone in just 90 days.
That's right. Don't miss your chance to save while driving in style.
Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Florida Heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Jaguars Today.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesofJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page, the showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. You hear about guarantees and warranties. What is Underwood's policy?
Frank, to talk about guarantees and warranties, you have to look at our history of over 70 years in business. Underwood's entire reason for existence is and has been to offer fine products that will be used with such satisfaction that both the giver and the receiver will want to come back, and hopefully they'll tell their friends about us. To do this means we've got to try our hardest to satisfy every customer. All of our people understand that. Now, I'm sure over the years we've made a few mistakes, but we've never failed to make good on any Underwood product that was returned with a legitimate customer complaint. Our entire reputation would mean nothing if we didn't conduct ourselves that way. Simply put, conducting our business with integrity is a lot more important to Underwoods and our customers than all the guarantees, warranties, and contrived legal obligations in the world. And you've got Underwood's word, my word, and all of our people's word on that.
Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
After 3 years, the Hacker Fantasy League is back here in 2025. Thursday night, August the 21st, at Twin Peaks on Atlantic and Kernan, the HFL is back. Be listening to Hacker After Dark for your chance to enter.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins.
If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein and Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein and Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out The Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At The Y, summer camps every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coating. We transform pool decks, driveways, and patios with pro precision.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Looking for summer fun the whole family can enjoy? Check out Wick, a candle bar. Make your own custom candles and body care products in store at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Super organized. Me and Coach go over it pretty much every week, and they send me a picture, and I get a piece of paper to keep in my locker, so I know exactly where I got to be and when I need to be there.
Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
The logistics of coaching Travis Hunter, Tony, right? I mean, you got to be planned out. Yeah, hey, you want to flip him over to defense offense? No, you keep him all right. I know. You got to know what you're doing. He's got to know what he's doing.
Yep.
Got to maximize your time on task as much as possible. He's going to be a huge talking point for all coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars this year.
Yeah.
Hope he lives up to it.
You know, he is one of those guys, as we talked about early on in the show, he moves different. Right, on a field full of people where they all move different. Like the level of athlete that's on that field is above the par, right? Like that's why they're here in the National Football League. And then a guy comes along like Hunter every now and then. You're like, whoa, like how does someone move like that? And he's got it. Whatever that it is, Travis Hunter has it. It's just a matter of how do we put that to use? You know, they're willing to pay a lot to have the right to make that decision. So we'll see what it's going to look like. But when he moves, man, it is something to behold.
All right, a couple of things from Liam Cohen. This is, at the end of last week, and we'll get to some of the fresh stuff with him. Just talked about the logistics of planning it out and how difficult that can be for the entire coaching staff.
It's weird. It's probably harder. I mentioned this before, like logistically for us as coaches to navigate it and make sure that we're making use of all of his time. I think it doesn't bother him as much. You know, I mean, he's pretty unfazed by some of this stuff. So, these next few days will be very important though, because he was on defense today. We have an off day tomorrow. You know, making sure that he's ready to go for the next few days. So he'll have to use this weekend, the off day tomorrow as well, to make sure that he's studying offensive stuff. So he's been great in terms of his attitude and just kind of the way he approaches it.
Look, he's a guy that obviously is not bothered by you asking him to run again. You know, like that kind of thing. He's like, you need me where? All right, I'll go over there.
Right.
You know, I'm good. Like, let me go. I just want to play ball. That seems to be his attitude with all of it. Liam Cohen also continuing to talk about Travis Hunter, talked about what he brings, the kind of energy he brings to the defense when he's out there.
You definitely feel it a little bit just because we're offensively, just by nature, maybe a little bit more of a quieter group just in general. And so when he is over there, there's just a little bit more, I don't want to call it life because I thought they were focused today. It wasn't that. It's just, he does have a little bit of a vibe around him. And so it does help kind of create that on offense and brings a little bit of juice for sure.
Yeah, somebody over the weekend said, what's he going to do when Derrick Henry comes barreling down on it? Well, what is any corner in the league going to do?
What kind of question is that?
When Derrick Henry comes barreling down? How about somebody not let Derrick Henry get the corner so he can barrel down on our guy? Yeah, he's going to have trouble bringing down Derrick Henry in the open field. I mean, you can take out anybody's legs, but
It's a long list that struggles with that.
Yes, right. So, we didn't bring him in to be the thumper at the back end of the defense. We brought him in to lock down guys from getting the ball in their hands to begin with, hopefully. All right, so Grant Udinski, not going to probably hear that much from him, quite frankly, this year because, when you have the offensive-minded head coach, you think more in terms of it's his playbook, it's his play calling.
I think he'll still be speaking every Thursday or whatever it is. But as the offensive coordinator, they're made available.
Well, and I will say this. Brian Thomas Jr., I thought, flashed a couple of nice catches today. One in particular up the left sideline. That would have been a big gainer. And he's had kind of a quiet camp so far for his standard that he set as a rookie last year. Udinski, though, says he's very prepared, and that is what brings him confidence.
It really comes down to the way he works. And for all the guys, you can have that type of confidence. That confidence comes from preparation. So the way he works and approaches his skill and his craft, not only from a receiver position, but from mastering the scheme and his job, what he's supposed to do. So when he's dialed in and working and studying and doing the things he's supposed to do, the way he does to prepare to come out here and play and come out here and practice, it gives us his confidence as coaches, but more importantly, it gives him the confidence to come out here and play fast and do that.
Udinski also talked about the progress they've seen here early on from Trevor Lawrence as he picks up yet another new offense in his NFL career.
That's a great point. That's something we're working on that we'll always be working on. I would love to say that at some point we'll be there 100% and everything is just automatic, but we know football's a game of many variables, so it's never going to be the case that he can go out there and just play turning your mind off completely. But we are certainly moving closer and closer to that state. And I think he mentioned something about that too, that pre-snap and post-snap, both of those start to get faster and faster and faster as he's gotten there. So we're not there yet, and we know we have work to do, but his work over the course of the summer, over the course of training camp has led him to a spot where there's a noticeable difference in the way he plays or even in just the way he approaches a given play.
Well, Kima, how much training camp work have we seen? About 4 practices, now 5 today.
Early on, yep.
Right. But, you go back to Liam Cohen on with the drill on Friday. You can go listen to that on demand anywhere. You can get 1010XL interviews, including the website 1010XL.com, YouTube, whatever. And was asked, basically, do you think the criticism of Trevor Lawrence has been fair to this point? And he did qualify it, but he said, yes, it has been fair. This is a win-loss league, right? It is, bottom line, you're the quarterback, whether it's in the big sense fair to put all of it on the quarterback. It's the system we've kind of created.
It's the reality.
That you're judged by your overall team success and what you're, are you taking a 5-win team and making it a 7-win team, right? You can't do it all by yourself. You can't turn chicken poop into chicken salad, right? You can't turn, a 3-win team into a 13-win team. It's not going to happen like that. But are you maximizing the players around you? Are you getting the most out of your personal abilities? And I think, Liam Cohen made it say, hey, look, been in the league for a few years now. There's been injuries. He hadn't always been available. You got to win. But he also qualified it by saying, now, look, he doesn't operate in a vacuum, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and he brought up the examples of Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold as guys, and we talked about it on Friday, Tone, as guys that were not at this stage of their career, exactly where they envisioned they were going to be.
Right.
And then they both had the best year of their career last year. Is that possible for Trevor Lawrence? Still only 25 years old. So, yes, it is. I was talking with Hack, and he brought up Tyler Shuck this morning. The Saints obviously drafted him in the second round, and he's older than Trevor. It's crazy, man, right? He's older than Trevor, and, we'll find out. Yeah. We'll find out. I mean, you've brought in a guy that had great success taking pretty good raw material in Baker Mayfield, but turning him into something he had never been. I still think we have good raw material in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Can he do it down in, down out, play in, play out? I'd like the answer to today's question be, regardless of whether the pads are on or not, the guy who's going to shine is Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. I don't think the pads make your quarterback more likely to have a good or a bad performance. No. I think you're looking at other positions. But if there were one guy, I think we'd all point to him as being the one that we hope, has the breakout season, based on what he's done in the past. Where are we at? Josh Hines Allen. Mm-hmm. Smooter, is that who he was talking about in this first cut? Dwan Smoot. And, you look at it, Tony, they're kind of slow playing Eric Armstead right now, veteran rest right now. He's 40, man. He needs some reps too. And I get it. He's been there. He's done that. They're probably trying to develop some other guys, but this is a position group at defensive tackle. And that's what I think of as Smoot. Smoot, I think, is a little bit, he can slide around a little bit. But if you ask me what DeJuan Smoot is, I think he's a defensive tackle more so than an end. That, maybe a sub-package guy, whatever the case may be. But Josh Hines-Allen said that bottom line, he just fits what this Jaguar defense is asking him to do.
Me and Smoot, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know, like, go. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's very natural. And I called him. I was talking to Smoot every day. Not every day. Not going to be exaggerating. But I talked to him a lot during the whole season, especially during the comeback. You know what I'm saying? What are you waiting on? You're going to have a role here. You come on. It was a lot of those calls, and he can say that I did that to him. I didn't call him every day. There's a lot of those conversations, and also he just vibes with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, he fits what we're trying to do. He fits the players around him, and he's unselfish. Like, if I need a pocket push, I'm gonna pocket push the hell out of this guy. If you need me to buy this guy so you can make it inside the B gap, I'm gonna do exactly that. You know what I mean? So having him kind of frees up everybody. It helps Eric as well. You got these two being selfless. You got Eric. You can rush a little bit more free because you have a guy that's in tune to the rushes. You have a guy that, okay, if you take inside, I'm gonna wrap under you. So it's cool having a guy like that, man. I love him, as a brother, and I respect him as a player as well. And I can't wait to really see tomorrow. And obviously, when the preseason games and all that, we can compete against somebody else. I can't wait.
Yeah, and DeJuan Smoot is full Duval, man. He wears it on his sleeve as much as, like, Dewey. I mean, there are a handful of guys that I think Josh Allen's been that way since he's been here as well. And by the way, very happy to hear the news that Josh Hines-Allen's son is doing well. And, you hate that for real life to encroach on this little silly fantasy world that we live in here day to day. But obviously, Josh Hines-Allen's a key figure in this organization. And you wish that for anybody. But, that hopefully that'll help him free his mind up a little bit. But, Smoot is just that guy tone. It's not ego, right? I don't have to have 8 sacks. Hey, I think I could be a 10-sack guy if you let me play that role. Well, we don't need you in that role. We need you in this role today and then this other role tomorrow. And this play, we might need you doing this. And that's what Hines-Allen's saying. He's willing to do whatever it is to help somebody else shine on this football team. Need more of that.
Yeah, and, Josh talking about what was going on with the family stuff yesterday did mention he didn't want to talk about it till they were in a good place with it. Right, and they are in a good place now, and now he wants to do what he can to make a difference for people that are dealing with similar situations. It does seem to explain. We can all remember late last year, it's like, why isn't Josh here? Right, like that week 18 thing was like, why isn't he here? And now I think we have an answer for what was going on.
Right.
With Josh. And he said the coaches told him last year when all that was going on, so you take care of what you needed to take care of. Right? Like that was how everyone was dealing with it. It's good to hear that everything's going in the right direction for him now and the family. And he mentioned, answering the question there about Smoot, he didn't want to exaggerate how often he was calling. And then he was asked about Devon Hamilton, and he gets asked about Devon.
Gosh.
And he says Devon not only is going to be a pretty good player for him this year, he was very clear in his expectations for Devon Hamilton. He says he's the best nose tackle in football right now.
He's the best nose in the game. DM is the best defensive nose tackle, whatever you want to identify him in the NFL right now. And he's showing it and proving it every single day. And when you can have that, you have that confidence that they're not going to run the ball right here. Now everybody else has to pick their level up. You know what I mean? So, again, Devon Hamilton is the best nose in the game, and he's going to prove it. And I can't wait to be out there to support him after every play he makes.
It's his opinion to state any way he likes, but I think it goes down a lot more smoothly to say, I think Devon Hamilton has the talent to be among the best nose tackles in the game. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be some proof of concept.
No issue with guys having teammates' backs.
Right, and I get that, but
feels overstated.
There's a little when you go that far, you're like, all right, I don't know if I can take anything you say about Devon Hamilton all that seriously right now. I mean, again, like you said, loves his teammate, thinks he has all the ability in the world, but That's a little much for anyone who's seen him play at this point in time. I do think he has ability, Tony. He's a big, space-eating dude who's had injury issues since he got signed by the last regime.
Hopefully
to a nice
he's back,
contract extension. All right, one more here from Josh Hines Allen on a personal note. What's the NFL single-season sack record? 22.5, is it?
I think it is.
22.5. So let's say 23 would set the record, right? Josh Hines Allen wants to get there.
23 sacks. That's the NFL record. I think all pass rushers should strive for that goal. Like every team strives to win a Super Bowl. So I think, my goal is to break the record and not really focus on it. Just know that if I handle what I need to handle, stay healthy, know what I'm doing, communicate, anticipate what's happening to me, anticipate past, and kind of be quicker on that, then everything's going to play off the way it's supposed to.
Kind of be quicker on that, Tony. Like almost as if we got a guy with 17.5 sacks, so let's not ask him to put on 20 pounds, right? I mean, it is kind of crazy when you think about it. Hey, Ryan Nielsen, like I have a vision for – I know how well you play at this size, but I'd like to see what you could do at a size you've never played at before.
Right. He was funny when he was asked about that again yesterday. Like Josh was asked, are you more comfortable playing the lighter this year? And he kind of rolled his eyes. He was like, I feel good.
Man, I hope don't. Every year, I feel like it's going to be new. Because last year, we were all about Nielsen, right? Nielsen's going to be fantastic. He's had an immediate impact in New Orleans, had an immediate impact in Atlanta. His players rave about him. This is going to be the best signing of the offseason. Player or coaching staff, regardless. And then what we got. Terrible. Absolutely atrocious. So no telling what they're really going to be this year. But just you hope that, again, common sense has re-entered the chat, so to speak. That intelligence is back in the building. Utilize your player. You hear it all the time. And I get it. Guys have schemes. Well, then find guys that fit your scheme. But if you've got a guy that's really good at some things and he doesn't exactly fit what you're looking for, then adjust what you're looking for, right? Or find somebody else. But you got to make use of the raw material that you have. That's what you got to do. And we'll take a guy who had 17.5 sacks, tell him to beef up to be Cam Jordan, where he's never been that type of player. Because that's your vision for how you want your linemen to look. Well,
then bring him in.
Probably should have taken another job.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. We'll come back halfway home on this. If you want to get in, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Tony will take us around the league when we return. Jeff Lageman going to join us coming up in about 25 minutes to give us his camp observations, day 5 practice in the books. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Remember the days of Baselli, Brunell, Jimmy, and Keenan?
Mark Brunell with a masterful run.
Jaguars pride forever. 1010XL.
Who says there's no free lunch? Join me, Hicken, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at Alhambra Theater. When you hear this,
bye-bye, Brock Marionville chasing a 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T. And we're buying you lunch. Stay tuned for this sound.
Bye-bye, Brock Marionville chasing a 90-yard run.
To win your tickets, courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
Tired of high energy bills? Well, replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's summer sale. Buy 4 windows or doors and get the 5th one free. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months, but this offer expires July 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
It's a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's OSJAX.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com. When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has two epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders Ford, 1010XL. This update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The Jacksonville Jaguars have had to make a change to the entry for the stadium scrimmage gates due to the shifting construction. Now for the August 1st scrimmage, the gates for entry are gates 1 and 4. The West Club is no longer open for public entry. The scrimmage is Friday, August 1st from 7 to 9 p.m. at Everbank Stadium. We are going to broadcast the scrimmage live on 92.5 FM. Make sure to go to jaguars.com/trainingcamp/tickets to make sure you're able to enter on the 1st. The 2025 Jaguars training camp open dates are still available to you, the fans. You can check in tomorrow, July 29th. Make sure to go to jaguars.com for more information. Parking lots open at 7. Gates will open at 7:45. Right now, 94 degrees at 10:58. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, hour 2 is upon us. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, 2 of the 3 will be out at practice tomorrow, broadcasting. Denmark will run the show back from World Headquarters. When are we moving, by the way? We have a
great question.
I mean, that's out there.
We should place bets.
We're moving. What city are we going to be in? We're still going to be in Jacksonville?
I believe so.
All right, excellent. I don't want to start over with, like, Seahawks today. Not my cup of tea, man. Come on, we're too invested in the Duval landscape here. All right, Liam Cohen, this is fresh after practice today. Hey, Coach, were you happy with the first day in full pads?
I thought that the offense came out and kind of set the tone a little bit offensively in the run game throughout the course of the day. Now, there were still some good plays here and there on both sides, but I was pleased to see physicality, but taking care of one another. Like, it didn't get sloppy or stupid. It was just good quality work. We put the pads on. That doesn't mean we have to cheap shot each other or do anything ridiculous. And I thought it was just good quality work from both sides and got our first day of pads in.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that assessment. Like I said, Trevor hit Joshua Cephas with a big one early, but the run game is something that you see they're really leaning into. A lot of work on throwing the ball to the backs again. And we talked about this Friday, Tony. It's really been a lot of emphasis on getting those guys going. What's going to take pressure off of Trevor Lawrence? Better protection from the O-line, better weapons in the passing game. But, man, I mean, you can turn around and do that twice and just hand it off and pick up some first downs like that, picking up some 5-6 yard chunks. Let's go. Let's make things easier. We don't need to be in 3rd and 7 all the time. I'm not saying that this, like, again, it's like Liam Cohen said Friday. This is not just fix Trevor. It's not just fix the line. It's not just improve the depth of talent in the backfield. It's all these things combined that they've got to get better at.
Well, you can start. The evaluation gets a little more serious on the lines of scrimmage once the pads go on, right? And Coach Cohen being willing to talk about their ability to establish what they wanted to get done in the running game a little bit the first day in pads, that's good, right? From the perspective of you'd like to see that get rolling a little bit for the football team. But with all things in training camp, that means that they didn't stop the run necessarily all that well, right? So the full evaluation on that stuff, I still kind of hold till they're on the field against the Dolphins, right? Like those training camp practices, even the preseason games, I don't think are, because of how limited the reps are in those situations against the Dolphins getting ready for week 3 of the preseason, they can choose how many reps of what they want to do when.
Sure.
Right? So you get a real evaluation of where they're at with these different things, but it's good to hear as we take steps towards that in the process. The offensive line apparently was good enough today to allow the run game to be effective for what they needed it to be in the first day in pads. Check mark? For that side of it, after one day in pads, it sounds like we'll see what it looks like tomorrow.
Right, and that's the thing. Like the offense, I feel like, what was it? What was the first day? On Wednesday last week, had the better of it. But then as you got through the next few practices, it was more on the defensive side of things. And that's generally who's ahead. But I want to feel like it's equal, like offense had the edge today, defense had the edge tomorrow. And, get a sense when they do have those joint practices with the Dolphins, are we Jaguar good or are we good? Or where are we?
It's hard
mediocre?
to know. It's just hard to know really until then, I think.
And somebody made the point like, hey, Travis Hunter's breaking all these passes. Yeah, he knows the damn playbook. He knows what route that guy's running because he would be lined up over there doing it. Who knows? I mean, there probably is something to that to some degree. All right, let's get a couple in from Tank Bigsby here, Tony, since we're speaking about Liam Cohen's thoughts and influence here. What Tank Bigsby what his experiences from Hacker's interview with Bigsby over the weekend on just his impressions of his new head coach.
He's an offensive genius. First of all, he's a great man. Relationship guy. He speaks with all us. Very humble coach. He loves things to be very detailed. So the sky's the limit with coach. Just got to come out and do his offense how he want it done and fly around.
A lot of discussions about who's going to be where in the offensive backfield this year for the Jags. It could be any of 3 guys have been the focus of the conversation about the starters, but really 2, Tank being one of those 2 with ETN, as far as who's going to be the starter for this football team. So the expectations for him are wherever you have them for him right now. But Tank was asked by Hacker where he has his expectations for himself going into this season.
Just be the best version of myself every day. Get opportunity, execute through it, and be where my feet at. You know, be a leader on this team, lead the guys, and just less talking. You know, just more action, lead with my action. And just hopefully every time I get opportunity, I can be at my best self. And the coaches believe in me, and that's how we're going to rock out.
Yeah, look, it's like a lot of these young guys, right? They've been around for a couple, 3 years, whatever. They start to feel more confident in their place, like, hey, I've earned my spot here. I know I belong here, you know, and now I'm just going to kind of, you know, you always want to let your play speak for itself, but I think Tank Bigsby's a lot more expressing that at this point than he has been. He's been here for a couple of years. He sees what's changed. I mean, you had Christian Kirk, you had Evan Ingram. Those guys weren't any slouches when they were healthy, when they were here. But what does he make of the current group of offensive talent on the Jaguars?
You feel the energy, but like I said, it's a day-to-day process. Come out here, get better every day and day, and let the season handle itself. You know, we're not looking forward. We're right here where our feet at right now. Day 3 of camp, heading to 4, so we got to be where our feet at and execute every day.
All right, well, again, Tank Bigsby, from my eyes, got the first rep among the running backs. But again, if you ask me which running back looked sharp today, Travis Etienne, I thought, led the way with that. By the way, LaQuint Allen made a catch down the field, Tone, that, like, you know, you often hear, he plays like a receiver. He did on that play. Like, the ball was a little bit underthrown, and he was one-on-one with a defensive back, kind of stopped and went up and high-pointed the ball. I mean, you're like, okay, that's a receiver right there. Again, Bajal Tutin not practicing today. It's not any kind of long-term injury concern with him. Again, for the, 5th or 6th time today, I'll use the phrase abundance of caution, because that's the phrase that was used with me, expressed to me. All right, we'll get more coming up from Liam Cohen. Jeff Loggeman on the way, about 10, 12 minutes away. But right now, why don't we take a look around the rest of the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Dallas has signed tight end Jake Ferguson to a 4-year, $52 million extension, including $30 million in guaranteed money. The LA Chargers and offensive tackle Rashawn Slater have agreed to a 4-year, $114 million extension with $92 million in guaranteed money. The new deal makes Slater the highest-paid offensive tackle in football on an average annual basis. The Miami Dolphins have created $11 million in cap space after revising the contract of safety Minkah Fitzpatrick by adding a $16 million signing bonus to his current deal. Washington wide receiver Terry McLaurin has been placed on the team's PUP list with an ankle injury after he did report to training camp over the weekend as his contract dispute with the team continues. Cincinnati Bengals first-round pick Shamar Stewart signed his rookie deal this weekend. Denver linebacker Drew Sanders suffered a tendon injury in his foot. It's expected to keep him out through the start of the season, but no official timetable for his return has been stated by the team yet.
So Rashawn Slater got, like, what's that come out to, like $28.5 million?
Something in there.
On average, right? 4 years, $114 million. And is he the best left tackle in the game? Probably not, but he's pretty good one, right?
But he's the one getting paid now.
He's getting paid now. So you look at that and you look, okay, Walker Little. What can Walker Little be? And I think, Liam Cohen, I don't know if you spoke about him today, but at the end of last week, saying, just from, again, can't make a full evaluation right now, but I think what he liked was his attitude of finishing, especially in the run game, finishing guys off, right? And coming in and doing that. And if Walker Little can be a middle of the pack, middle of the league left tackle, which can be good enough, right? You don't have to have the best at every position, because you can scheme it up to help. Quarterback can make good pre-snap recognition reads, all these things that can contribute to it. Remember what Walker Little's getting for 3 years? 40.5. He's $13.5 million. Mm-hmm. So he's less than half of what Rashawn Slater is. Now, is he half the player? Rashawn Slater, you know what I mean? Like, you get what you pay for sometimes. But if Walker Little can show that he can be the 16th best offensive left tackle in the league. I don't know if he will be. Maybe he's the 27th best. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if he can be that and stay healthy and do that on a consistent basis, I mean, that could turn out to be, dare I say, a good move by the Trent Baalke front office.
It does look like Liam Cohen did talk specifically about Walker Little
today
in the practice. If you have the cuts from this morning ready, Dylan, it is cut 7. It looks like he just talks about
there it is.
A little bit about the progress that they've seen from Walker Little to this point in camp.
First few days, I thought, he was really on. Yesterday, Josh got him a few times, and I thought he came back out today, though, with a mindset of, I'm just going to be a little bit more patient with my hands and with my punch. He was punching a little bit too soon yesterday, just getting a little overextended. But, I've been pleased with him, man. His demeanor's been the same in terms of just the way that he handles himself and approaches it. And I think he's been doing a good job getting some removal in the run game when we're asking him to.
Move some people, right? And again, I told you, I think from what I've heard, they're pretty happy with the attitude and the go get it. However, that's I don't know if that's the phrase I want to use, but the energy level of Anton Harrison, the urgency. How about that? That might be a better phrase. And again, intentional or unintentional, they put him in the spotlight this offseason. And so we're all wondering, will he respond? And from what I'm told, again, this is prior to the padded practice today, they're very happy with the way he came in here, and hopefully he'll be solidifying that right side. Let's play the next cut here, Dylan, just on that pair of tackles and the tackles in general, and how they've done facing the likes of Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker.
I mean, those guys obviously can go, right? They can go, and anytime you have good on good, we're trying to create an edge and sharpen our edge, and that's going to do that for us every single day. And then, hey, you get to move those guys down when Trayvon goes down inside at a 4-eye or at a 3 technique. Now he's rushing on the guard, and those guys are getting the work. But it's really important for us to continue that. We're going to see a lot of good pass rushers in this league, as we know, and for us to be able to, win more than not. That's the goal, when you're playing that position.
We know that Coach Cohen was willing to say what he was willing to say about Anton Harrison basically the last time he spoke before we were done with the offseason stuff, and we're about a week into training camp now, and Coach was asked this morning coming out of the first padded practice, where is he with Anton now? He says that he's pleased with what he's seen so far.
For the first few, I've been very pleased with Anton, and we've mentioned that to him, and I asked him the other day in the hall, I said, hey, is this going to be every day? Is this how it's going to be every single day? And he was very adamantly yes, and so and that's what we have seen. So for him to take a step in the right direction in our eyes, for sure, I think is only going to help us moving forward, because he's so talented, and when he plays locked in, he plays with great effort, and he strains through the echo of the whistle, good things typically happen.
Again, they're making sure, it's not just a one-off. Let's keep reminding him, but it's also how apparently Anton Harrison is responding to that. You can get your back up and go, oh, man, I'm a first-round pick. I'm whatever, But I get it. Look, I'm sure if your coach came to you asking the same thing all the time, hey, every day, you're going to get this tomorrow? Hey, coach, how many days do I have to show you this? But that's what he's saying. You can't do it 50 days and then take the next one off every single time. And apparently Anton is hearing that message and embracing that message.
But again, it's the new accountability that feels like it's here, right? And that kind of answer to that kind of question points to it again, right? You can be asked that kind of question, what have you seen from Anton at this point? It's he's looked good. We like what we see so far. If he had just answered it that way, we go, all right. But no, he says, I see him in the hallway. I say, are we going to get this every day? Mm-hmm. Right? It's still whatever that thing is that he's trying to hold him to. He's like, I'm not afraid to talk about that standard in the public with everybody. Everyone can know that this is what you told me. This is what I'm holding you accountable to. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. That public accountability hasn't been here the last couple of years. I don't know what kind of dividends that pays on the football team. No one knows the answer to that till they get on the field and are playing real football. But from an outsider looking into it, I do love the attitude, right, of the head coach being willing to, when asked that kind of question, give you something besides, yeah, we like it, right? To give you something that more speaks to, this is what we expect from this guy. This is what we're going to get from this guy. We're going to pull it out of him however we need to pull it out of him. He's telling me he's going to bring it. Bring it.
And we grant it that all right this moment is all happy talk.
Yep.
Right? It's just talk. None of it really matters. I mean, it's the foundation being laid. Yep. So it matters from that standpoint. But if you don't go, by the same token, if you had a bad camp and due to injury, you got thrust into the starting lineup in week 1 and you went out there and kicked ass. Nobody's going to care what kind of camp you had, right? You're going to get judged on the 17 tests you take this year. You're going to get judged along the way to put you in position, but ultimately what you do when you're in that position will be the determining factor in how well you played for this football team. All right, Jeff Logman played pretty well for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Outstanding analyst now. He'll be back with us before you know it on Check the Tape Tuesdays. He'll join us coming up next with his Day 5 camp observations and more. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for big number 1 Duval Ford. The number 1 Ford dealership in Jacksonville. Absolutely. The legacy dealership in Jacksonville. Over 110 years. They're right there on Cassett Avenue. A tremendous service department. Look, they also have a Ford Pro Elite status that is the only dealership you're going to find between Orlando and Atlanta that has that. So if you're a business manager with a fleet of vehicles, you're not going to find a company that works with you better than Duval Ford. Top of the line across the board in everything they do. You'll find them online at duvalford.com or just stop by their showroom on Cassett Avenue.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
First of all,
real life is hard.
Second of all,
the sporting life is fun.
You're absolutely right.
1010XL, adding a little fun to real life.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
It all comes down to Daytona and the Coke Zero Sugar 400 race weekend, August 22nd and 23rd. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola. Friday night, August 22nd. Who was on the pole position for last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for a chance to win tickets to the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola, August 22nd.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Summertime is busy with graduation parties, summer barbecues, festivities, family gatherings. The month of July, National Carpet Cleaning Month. So Zero Res is offering $45 per room of carpet clean and 20% off air duct cleaning services as well. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call them 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards, is spelled the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit Bowden9.com for a free screening. Bowden9 Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coating. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
I hear the train a-coming. It's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
I saw the sunshine this morning. It's gorgeous out there. It didn't feel too hot, of course. The media is standing in the shade. So far be it for me to know how hot it is for those players out there. But I know that Jeff Logman was watching intently. And before you know it, just be a few weeks before Check the Tape Tuesday is back for its umpteenth season. What would it be, like year 16? Something like that?
Something in there, yeah.
Something like that. Logs joins us right now. Jeff, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Good morning. I didn't get the benefit of standing in the shade, though. And I was in the full sun today, so if you were in the full sun, you might have changed your opinion on how it felt this morning.
All right. Fair enough. You know, prior to like, I'm pretty much a shade guy. I just like, I'll leave it to Logs to brave the elements and tell me about it, how it was down there. But, Jeff, first day in pads, does that kind of signal as a player, like it's really getting real at this point?
Yeah, and they're still kind of acclimating, into the full practice, where a full padded practice might go, 2 hours. And I think today it actually got cut short one period. And just because the practice was so good, and Coach said, hey, let's just end it here, I guess. But I thought it was a really good practice. The first day in pads is always exciting, but, it's always a little bit uncomfortable, too, just from the standpoint of, you haven't had the pads on since last year. And there's almost an acclimation period to the pads themselves to where, you sweat in them for a week or so, and then they start to get more form-fitted to you. You get used to them, and you feel more natural moving with the additional weight. So, but it was a great practice. I really enjoyed watching it, and I thought it was a very strong practice overall.
Well, Dempsey was in the shade out there at practice this morning. Were you in the sunshine because you were looking for an angle on a particular position group? Why were you in the sun and him in the shade this morning, Jeff?
So, the great thing about the new design of the organization and the way it's layered from the top down with Tony Vaselli and Liam Cohn and James Gladstone, the organization is as transparent as it's ever been, and which means that I think the fans are going to be the beneficiaries of this. And so more things are open to the public. The fans are going to have more access through different broadcast avenues that the Jaguars have, including the practices themselves. When the practices have been open, JP Shadrick and myself, and mostly JP handles kind of the nuts and bolts of this, is that we explain for the people that are there in the stands what is going on at practice and what the periods are and what's going to be happening, where to kind of train their eyes to look in which direction. So I think it's an exciting time, I think, in Jaguars history when it comes to the fan experience. I think they're going to have more access than they've had from ever before.
Jeff Loggeman here with us on Jaguars Today. Jeff, obviously, line of scrimmage play gets a focus when the pads are on. The presumptive starting five on the offensive side, Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, Makari. We know he wasn't out there today. And Anton Harrison. Who do you think is in the toughest battle to maintain that status as a starter?
Well, that's a great question, and I think that the interior spots, I think, are going to be open for grabs. And when I say open for grabs, there's incumbents. Makari is, even though he's got the back kind of thing popping up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy that's expected to handle that one position, the right guard spot. But the reality is that every position is open if somebody outperforms somebody else. So that's the great thing about the NFL, and that's the great thing about this regime. I think in past, there was certain players that you knew that were going to be the guy, regardless of the performance of others. And then there was also, I think, a measured approach to bringing in competition to certain positions because they were considered their guys. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't want to go into a deep explanation of that, but I think every position is open on this football team, as it should be. And it's going to be fun to watch the position battles along the offensive line. By the way, today they had, which many people for years have called it 9-on-7, which is the run period. And it used to be called 9-on-7 because it only involved linebackers, safeties, and then the defensive line. And then on offense, it was tight ends, running backs, wide receivers weren't really involved. But they call it team run now because it's a team period. And it's still the 9-on-7 where it's the physical aspect of trying to establish the run game. When you have everybody there, it's nice because then the offense can throw maybe a play-action pass so it keeps the defense honest in their run defense. It might have been the most physical, best 9-on-7 or run period that the offensive line group for the Jacksonville Jaguars has had in a long time. I thought it was very impressive. I thought it was solid. I thought they got great push. The emphasis in the run game is real, and you can feel it watching today's team run period.
Where does the offensive backfield running back battle stand in your mind to this point?
I think it's wide open. And I think there's going to be a lot of, okay, who's the hot hand to determine who's going to play. I really like the impact of the rookies. Now, Bashal Tutin wasn't practicing today. Not sure exactly the reason why. As you guys know, any kind of injury in the preseason is kind of, they don't talk about it. They don't have to report it. But I like all of them. I think Etienne is definitely a well-rounded back, but he's had some health issues lately. Bigsby's had some issues with putting the ball on the ground. I really like what I'm seeing so far out of LaQuint Allen, the rookie draft pick out of Syracuse, just because he looks like he is going to have an honest shot at being a third down back. So I think it could change week to week until somebody establishes themselves as the hot hand. And if for some reason that hand cools off, I think they could change it the next week.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think Bigsby has caught most people's eye the first week of practice, right? He's getting like the first rep, and he's looked good doing it. I thought Etienne looked really good today. And now I didn't see the team stuff. You can tell me if they carried it through on that, but like just some of the individual drills versus linebackers catching the football out of the backfield. I thought he looked sharp. His hands were excellent, and I thought his cuts were good. I just think he really looked the part this morning.
Yeah, and Mike, along those lines, and you and Tony have watched this football team for a long period of time. When's the last time you remember having legitimate competition in that running back room? When's the last time we saw that?
Probably when James Robinson beat out Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go back a long period of time. And for whatever reason, that position group was kind of I don't want to say neglected, but I mean, that's about the closest term that I can come up with. And so I like it. I mean, look, what makes a position group and the performance better? Competition. And when it's real, and there is real competition on this roster, that position might be one of them at the top. Defensive back might be another one. So I think that's exciting to watch, and that you have legitimate competition because there's players that have been brought in that are bringing something to the table. And it's not just a body to bring out there to have the numbers for practice. It's legitimate competition.
What are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence now through the first week of training camp?
I think he's been good, and I don't think he's been great yet. It's still early, but I think he's been good. The one thing that has been very impressive with him is that it doesn't feel like the quarterback's first experience in a new offense. You're not having plays to where they have a hard time breaking the huddle. They're having a hard time getting lined up. The coaches are having to pause the practice to explain anything. To me, that's incredibly impressive because, look, the reality is even though he's got a couple years under his belt with two different systems, it's still a new system. So the learning aspect, I think, is very impressive from Trevor. I think his body looks to be, in my opinion, I think he's in maybe the best shape that he's ever been in. He looks bigger, and he looks proportionate. Looks like it's all in all the right places. He is moving very well. So I mean, all things are pointing in the up arrow direction, I guess you could say. But the reality is, until you start to kind of have something real to evaluate, you don't know. But I mean, from what I've seen so far, it's encouraging, but there's still plenty of room for growth.
Right. I thought he looked pretty decent today, but again, I didn't see the full team period. So I'm with you. Let's start stacking them up, Logs. That's what we need to hear. I'd love to hear about a dominant week from Trevor Lawrence, and the defense has no answers for him, but we'll see. Time will tell if we get that kind of level of performance, and it's really most important that it happens once the games count. All right, Jeff Lageman with the Jaguar broadcast crew. You hear him all over the 1010XL dial, and it won't be long before Check the Tape Tuesdays are back. Logs, we'll see you back out there for the second straight day of padded practices tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate it. And Mike, Tony, Dylan, looking forward to sitting in there with you guys here before long.
It won't be long, brother. All right, there he goes. Jeff Lageman, one of the leading voices on your Jacksonville Jaguars. I appreciate him hopping on board with us here on Jaguars Today. Let's come back and look at what some of your submissions have been for today's Chad and Sandy real estate question today. Who are you expecting to pop now that the pads are on? No pun intended. Like, who's going to stand out more now that they're in pads? We'll give you our impressions. So we hope that will be. As I mentioned, I thought ETN looked really good today, but who are some of the guys we'll be looking to hear about them standing out, hopefully, over the next few days and as the padded practices continue throughout training camp? Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. Jaguars Today rolls on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Summer on the First Coast, the heat, the beach, and Jacksonville Sports Radio, 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The reigning national champs will be taking on the Miami Hurricanes here in Jacksonville for the Jacksonville Hoop Showdown at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena on November 16th. 5 Gators have made the Athlon Sports 2025 All-SEC preseason team, including Jake Slaughter, first-team center, Jaden Boff, second-team running back, Eugene Wilson, second-team wide receiver, Tyreek Sapp, second-team defensive lineman, and DJ Lagway, fourth-team quarterback.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Chelsea here. Summer is sizzling and so are the savings at Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, buy 4 windows in our patio doors and receive the 5th free. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. As temperatures rise, so do energy bills. Upgrade to Renewal by Anderson's exclusive Fibrix windows. 2 times stronger than vinyl, remarkably energy efficient, and custom crafted to perfectly fit. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, was your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
Hacker here, fresh back from vacation. You know, it's interesting since I started my Awaken 180 journey. You know, in the past, when I would go on vacation, it would just be a total free-for-all, right? Eat whatever's fried, this, that, or the other. But Awaken 180 not only has helped me lose over 100 pounds, it has changed my mindset on food. I eat healthier now because I know and I understand how good not having that excess weight feels. When I talk about Awaken 180 weight loss being life-changing, it is. In all different aspects, including things I order and things I even enjoy to do on vacation now. Awaken 180 has changed my life for the better thanks to all the weight it has allowed me to lose and now to keep off. If it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, do yourself a favor and go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Change your life with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live shows end.
How about that? Channeled by
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Whether your AC needs a quick fix, a full replacement, or just a little TLC, Duck Air Conditioning has got you covered with fast and honest service. Call 904-862-6769 to get your cool back or online at duckac.com.
Send your favorite person a sweet summer surprise today from Kuhn Flowers, creating memories for over 70 years. I'm RJ, and it's just so easy. Order online at kuhnflowers.com, Jacksonville, and Ponte Vedra.
Playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
What 2 vegetables are combined in making succotash?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
In order to make succotash, you'll need dry corn and dry beans. Suffering succotash was made famous by Sylvester the Cat.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
A lot of wish casting on the question of the day today. Well, that's fine. You know, a lot of people are answering it. Who's who I hope steps up their game, right? With the pads coming on. We ask you today the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, which Jacksonville Jaguar will step up his game the most now that the team is practicing in full pads. In other words, allowed to use their physicality on a play-in, play-out basis. Some of the responses we got here from Doom better be Anton, in my opinion. Okay, but is that who you think it's going to be? Scott said, I'm with a couple others. Anton, hopefully. My other thought was Eric Armstead moving back inside should help. Got to get him out there on the practice field. consistently to see that. Walker Little from Cristiano. Tom said one hopes the entire offensive line. Yes, we hope that. Absolutely. Code Blue went with Walker Little. Big Will went with Trayvon. Year 4 seems to be the time. He shows why he was the first pick in the 2022 draft. No one on this team will be able to block him. Hashtag Jaguars Today. Appreciate that, Big Will. Eric said hopefully Anton. So there's a lot of hope and a lot of wish casting here. Andrew says first day in pass, linebackers will shine. You'll hear names like Ventrell and Kaiser and Muma this week. I'll say Ventrell had a nice pass breakup, and this is in one-on-one. He felt like he should have had the interception. I'm not 100% sure who he was covering on the play, Tony. It could have been Jaquindon Jackson. He was a back who, what do you put Jaquindon Jackson's chances of making the opening day roster? 0.001%, right?
Very,
not going to make
very
it,
low,
right?
yeah.
But, that doesn't mean his career's over. He could be on the practice squad. That's a guy I know that they think, when the pads come out, he's not going to run away from you, right? So that kind of back wants the physicality. Yep. And he looks the part when he's out there. Huge guy, 6'1", 233. I mean, that listed at that size at least. And for a running back, that is massive to be sure. Bush Driver Rich said, hope it's Milan, but it's going to be Dewey. So there you go. He gave you who he hoped for and who you think it's going to be. Out of all those answers, I think Trayvon's the one that, to me, yes, you can see the dip. You can see the quickness in pass rush drill, but Trayvon going to get his hands on you. It's not like he can only bull rush, but he's still got that crazy ability. Why don't you hit up today's 10-10 take there, Denmark? If you could. Be so kind.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company. Veteran owned and operated.
Look, officially, I would say, if I'm just giving you one, I'd say Trayvon, right, on this. But I think there are a number of guys here, Tony, that I expect to stand out a little bit more. Not just I do hope the tackles, right, are going to be those guys. But I think Wyatt Milam, the type of lineman he is, the attitude he has, not that Ezra Cleveland is looking to lay down and give up that spot, but my personal feeling is Ezra Cleveland's more of a technical, he's a good athlete, but he's not going to maul you. And at least down and down out. McManus loves Ezra Cleveland. I don't think that's, maybe that's a little, love might be strong, but really thinks he's a good player. I think Wyatt Milam was brought in to bring that physical nature on the line of scrimmage. Yeah. He would be the offensive lineman I'd be looking the most for. I think Bigsby should shine in this environment as well. He's not going to make you miss all the time, but he's going to bust a lot of arm tackles. And you can see it today. There's some oohs and ahs on his first carry today. I thought the line blocking was good. He went right up the gut in conjunction with how hard he runs. I told you Etienne did look good today. I don't know if it was a pad thing. I just thought Etienne looked really sharp and crisp and getting in and out of his breaks, catching the ball fantastic, and getting upfield quickly. That's not necessarily a pads thing, though, Tone. So those are, some usual suspects, but those are some of the guys I have my eye on.
Yeah, I do think Tank makes sense because he is the more physical, right, of the running backs that they have back there among the guys that are potentially going to be featured in the run game for him. So he would make sense. The pads go on, so you would expect the level to ramp up a little bit for him specifically. Like anything that Trayvon Walker does that you add that now he can punch you, he's going to stand out because he is a physical kind of freak. I think eyes will be on. I mean, if Josh Hines Allen is going to call him the best nose tackle in football, let's see it go on. Like that kind of thing from Hamilton. Let's hope we get that. We know he's doing it right now without Eric Armstead or Mason Smith out there on the field with him. So he's
had a big practice Friday.
Yeah, so he's the guy out there. Jordan Jefferson, we'll see how much he can push him, in that kind of regard. It's more of a continuation from what we've seen to this point, but I think it is one of the curiosities for me for the football team is what does Ransaw look like? Making the transition from corner to safety, and as it gets more physical, gets a little bit faster as the pads go on, you get deeper into camp, like these kind of things, as it continues to ramp up, how is he dealing with not only the transition in position, but now, the physicality has to show up for him as a player as the back end of the defense kind of guy. I do think, someone mentioned Andrew Wingard as who they would have as Wingard's he's a gamer kind of guy, right? Like there is something about him. He finds the ball all the time. He finds the ball, and that was the biggest weakness with him his rookie year. Every time he went on the field, we all just kind of held our head in our hands like, oh no, like he's got to play. Oh no. And he's gotten better and better and better with each year. Last year, unfortunately, he was dealing with the injuries. He's still a special teams ace for the football team, so he's got a role somewhere on the team. But right now, the competition at free safety, I still think is among the 2 or 3 most interesting on the whole football team. So what does that look like now that the competition level is going to raise up naturally because they're playing something that looks more like football now than they have at any other point in this offseason? So, yes, the tests are going to be more difficult for the grading on these players as well. So I'm very curious to see how all that's going to look with these guys. So these critical positions we've talked about all offseason is where the eyes are going to be as the pads come on, this week as well. It's how do they look now that the test has become a whole heck of a lot more serious for these guys out there on the field.
Somebody on the text line, as a matter of fact, said I think Caleb Bransall will stand out. He's one of the best tacklers in the draft. At least that's what they're counting on, right? Being a sure tackler. I don't know if he's a blow-you-up tackler, but he's they're counting on him to utilize that legit 4.3 speed and clean up things on the back end.
Find the ball. We know Wingard finds the ball. Find the ball, Caleb.
No question. A couple of guys that I like Eric Murray. I don't think there's any doubt he's starting on this football team. No. I've had it described to me by people in the organization that he is easily, if you want to use the phrase coach on the field, he's easily the guy that has the best grasp of concepts and stuff and is going to get guys lined up and should make the fewest mental mistakes of anybody. And I think they want that on there. I feel like we're just kind of like, Darnell Savage, man, he might get cut, and he might, right? Yeah. And because I do feel it's Wingard or Ransall like Dewey might open the season, and Ransall's coming. If Ransall opens the season as a starter, it's on, right? I mean, you're not gonna. He's gonna have to really play poorly to relinquish that spot, and that could be a spot where, you save a roster spot with a veteran guy if you let him go, or if you keep, look, it's all about competition, right? So it's not like they're just counting Savage out, I'm sure, but I think that's where the competition is going to ultimately emerge, is between Ransall and Wingard there. And, Devin Lloyd had, Brian Sexton was out there at practice. He said, in his opinion, Devin Lloyd just looks, there's something different about the way he looks. The quickness, the anticipation. He is moving, the way Brian put it, like the first-round pick we expected him to be. Mm-hmm. Again, all this is happy time.
Yeah.
In training camp, pads just went on for the first time today.
It's the natural state of things in an NFL calendar.
We've been excited about plenty of these type guys or some of these specific guys in the past. And it doesn't mean that even if we were wrong then, we're wrong now necessarily. But I do think that the competition thing is legit with an exception of a handful of spots. And those spots, even if it is like if you said, all right, Josh Hines Allen, your job's on the line, he's going
to win it.
He's right. He's going to win, right? But I mean, like, it's not one of those that you think, okay, who can push Josh Hines Allen for his role on the team? Mm-hmm. His role is his role on the team. It's a question of how many snaps are you able to go at a high level. Same with Trayvon. There's certain guys like that. I mean, the gulf between the starter and the next man up is big on this football team. But, that's not the case at the majority of positions. So let's see. I'm interested in seeing what, like, a guy who we haven't talked at all about, like Jonah Monheim, drafted in the 7th round. Now's your time to show us something, man, right? I mean, you forget, Luke Fortner's still on this roster. Jonah Monheim, come and have a rest of camp and put something on film that makes them feel confident that they can go into the season with you being a heartbeat away from the starting job. Now, granted, if Hainsey were to miss some time, maybe they slide Makari inside and they put Chuma Edoga in the starting line, right? But
they got a lot of flexibility.
To be the next pure center up on the roster, let's see it.
Yeah, I know when we would have, questions going throughout the offseason about, the roster battles. I can remember we've done those kind of, we're doing the top 5 again tomorrow. We've done top 5s where we've talked about that kind of thing. And I've had, Monheim kind of on those lists somewhere as the conversation being, can he be the 10th offensive lineman? Right? Like, would he be the 10th kind of guy that they keep?
Sure.
I think he's ahead of Fortner for whatever that's worth. I think eventually that's where it's going to be.
I think the fact that this regime drafted him.
Yeah. And he's got the flexibility that he can play different spots on the offensive line, but he is a center, right? Like, that's the position they drafted him at, was center, right? So that does feel like when he gets on the field, that's likely where it's going to begin for Monheim. And again, we don't know what the answer to the riddle of where do they want to keep an extra body because Travis Hunter is on the roster, right? Like, they have the flexibility with one spot that they can keep one extra guy somewhere. It's a question of how they want to use that kind of thing. It could be on the offensive line. I don't necessarily expect that that's what it's going to be, but I do think there's something to what does Monheim look like going through preseason? And if the evaluation is high enough, do they get to a point where they don't feel like they can actually get him to the practice squad safely? Right. Yeah, and then you got to keep hold of him. We got to keep him on the 53 because we don't want to risk losing him.
I would bet that that's the path, that he's on the 53,
feels like it,
but not active on game day. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to have all 10 active on game day. You might have 8 guys up, and they've got a lot of guys with a lot of versatility.
No doubt.
And that's presuming, by the way, that everyone's healthy. Like if Makari were to miss some time, maybe you'd feel like, we got to have another pure center on the roster, something along those lines. I don't know, man. We're gonna talk it in circles, and then they'll be out on the field for the in-stadium scrimmage on Friday. There'll be preseason game number 1 the following week, and we'll be off and rolling before you know it. Joe C knows. I barely recognize this guy. I remember he used to be around here. He's a North Carolina guy. He hangs out in Charlotte a lot these days. So let's welcome Joe and XL Primetime to the table.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Joe, I kid, of course. You're a hardworking man.
You.
It's nice to see you. My name is Mike. Hello, how are you? You sort of remind me of a guy I used to do some radio with back in St. Augustine back in the 90s. But
it's familiar.
And we both probably got a little bit more gray in the picture than we used to. But so here we are, first day in pads. I know that's going to be a big topic of discussion, I'm sure.
Listen, I'm stoked, just like you guys were, just to see it and knock heads a little bit. The Tommy Macks of the world, the Big Sources of the world, immediately make a mental note to themselves. That practice only lasted an hour.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
And so the old school dudes are thinking that, and I'm sure they're going to bridge up and they go back to, I think 10:30 is the end of practice tomorrow. Anyway, they need to hit, but don't go overboard. I'm okay with that, but they need to.
There needs to be some physical play, right?
Yeah, and they were physical, and you were watching. They were physical, taking guys to the ground, so on and so forth. But, yeah, I think it has to be more measured now because, dude, you guys, Tony goes through the injury report almost all the time, and you know how many guys have already suffered injuries in the handful of days.
Right, and you hope, because you hear this is pretty much what you hear everywhere. Well, it's, an abundance of caution. We're just being super careful with this guy. Sometimes that turns into 3 weeks, And I'm not saying that's the case with any of the guys that are described as short-term absences.
But I heard you say it when
that's the case.
I heard you say it when I got in the car, and I thought pandemic. That's the only thing I could think of when you said that. Abundance of
caution. Well, there's that too. They're all masked up out there, but they're face masks, not the other kind. So, all right. So, what do you got today?
Well, we'll definitely dig in as far as some of the things we got. It was interesting. I was there with Liam Cohen. Interesting what he did say about Anton Harrison. I do think he invites thought from people on the outside to say, hey, is he challenging his player? Well, heck yes, he is. And now he's seeing some results of him challenging him, and he's complimenting him. And then Walker Little, he said he got handled a little bit. What was it?
By Josh Hines Allen.
By Josh Hines. Yeah, which you would expect. But he's also coming along. So anyway, I think he says a lot of things that you definitely should pay attention to. It's not glossy. It's not just kind of surface talk. He is giving you good information.
If you know what to listen for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just feel like you're seeing both sides win at times. But a great example is Britton Strange has got a chance to make a great play, and then Josh Hines Allen pops the ball right out. Those are the things that are going to cost you drives, those types.
Sure, but at the same time, those are the things that get your defense off the field, right? So you got to balance that out always of what we're looking for. Joe, have a great show.
All right, fellas.
Probably see you out there tomorrow morning. At least if you're out there, we will see you because we will definitely be out there with Jaguars Today doing our show out there. The drill will be out there tomorrow morning as well. So, Tony, going to be back in another week, getting ready to roll. And, before you know it, these games and these practices will lead to things that actually count. So that'll do it for us today. Thanks to Jeff Logman for hopping on board with us. We'll have more Jaguar guests for you tomorrow live from the Miller Electric Center. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Everybody have a great day. Stick around for XL Primetime on 1010XL 92.5 FM.